शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ So we are discussing Tvam Padartha Vichara and we have completed 20 shlokas. And the last one was the entire body mind sense complex becomes active because of Atma Chaitanyam. Yasya Sannidhya Matrena it becomes Chetanaha, otherwise it becomes Jadaha. In the last shloka, Ajadatmavada Bhanti. Just before the class, there was some discussion going on here. So it seems Ramana Maharshi asked a small girl. She had asked a question, that small girl, who am I? And he gave an answer. Gave an answer in the form of a Q&A. And Ramana Maharshi asked, it seems, you are wearing the frock. Is it you? Then the child said, no, they are not mine. It is not me. I am just wearing it. Then you are wearing some bangle and some sort of abharanam. Is it you? No, it is just I am wearing for decoration. Just then, in the same way, body mind complex is like a frock. You are wearing it. It is not you. So that is what yesterday we saw in the 20th shloka. Ajadatmavad bhanti. I also gave you that example of shirt, coat, etc. Exactly the same thing. I did not know that even Ramana Maharshi has given the same example anyway. So just as we wear shirt, pant, etc., that cloth material becomes Chaitanyam because we wear and walk around. This body is also a kind of Jadam. It becomes Chaitana. For a Jnani, I have told earlier also in the earlier classes, not here, in the other Vedanta classes, for a Jnani, the Panchakosha itself is the Vastram. Entire Panchakosha is an Abharana for a Jnani. We have put extra costume. So we are all 6 koshas, but for a Jnani only Panchakosha. Anyways, we will continue. Shloka 21. Agaman me manyatra Sampratam chastirikritam Evam yo vetti dhivrittam Sohamityavadharaya. See, understanding, continuation from the yesterday's class only. Understanding the world is an object of perception, no doubt. It is very easy. It needs only grosser viveka. Every human being can understand that world is an object of perception. But when we come nearer and say that body is also an object of perception, with some viveka we can understand. But it is very intimate to us. Just as I wear a specs, and when I remove the specs, I know it is an object which is away from me. But when it is there on the eyes or on the face, and if I ask what is the object of perception, you will say everything and you will forget the specs. Because specs has become the part of me. So it needs some kind of an introspection to say, I am not the body. The moment I close my eyes, if I think of my own self, the thought comes is body alone. this body and how long it has been extended and what all I did Shushusha for this body, this thought only comes to me. The moment you sit for sadhana, that is why they say first you have to relax your body, so that during the meditation, body will not trouble you. Isn't it? If you don't relax the body for a couple of minutes, then some knee sound will happen. Knee bone sound. Tak tak kalela barta irta shabda. With introspectiveness, body is an object of perception. As mind, very difficult to understand. How do you observe the mind and then say, I am witnessing the thoughts of the mind? Very difficult. It needs long years of Shravanam. 10 to 15 years of Shravanam will help you to objectify the mind. It is not so easy. Because Mamakara has been hijacked. Mind has been hijacked by the Mamakara. Because Ahankara objectification is very tough. And extension of Ahankara is the Mamakara. My phone lost. We get back. Isn't it? New brand phone we lost. We get panic. Somebody's phone next or the other neighbor's phone lost. Because if it is next neighbor, every day you talk to them. You have to say, Ayo Papa for them. The third or fourth house neighbor, if phone falls, then no problem. You are happy. Sachidananda Swarupaha Ahameva. My son's phone went down. It broke. Panic. Brand new iPhone. What is this? Everything is happening at the mind level. Ahankara is extended where? My spouse phone, my son's phone, or my own. If it is my own phone, it is Ahankara. If it is kith and kin phone, it is Mamakara. So Ahankara is the extension of Mamakara. So this identification to make as objectification very difficult. But Shankaracharya says, you have the will to make it objectified. You have the will. Me manaha anyatra agamat. Me manaha, my mind, anyatra, elsewhere, agamat, it wanders. I clearly know when it is wandering and when it is not wandering. We sit for meditation. We relax the body for a couple of minutes. Only a couple of minutes you have to relax. 20 minutes meditation. I relax my body for 15 minutes. Gone case. 1 or 2 minutes. And then couple of minutes breathing. All these are preparation for concentration of the mind. Meditation is concentration of the mind. And then you chant few mantras or do some japa of your Ishtadevata. Again, concentration. And then you do the dhyanam, whether it is a pranayama dhyanam or saguna dhyanam. What is happening in all these conditions or all these actions, mental actions? You are able to know that mind is shifting from one location to the other. Manaha anyatra agamat. It might be a religious activity, but Shankaracharya says agamat means it will wander. We might have given it as a holy act, japa, meditation, everything, but he says it is wandering, that's all. It is wandering from laukika vishaya to paramarthika vishaya or religious vishaya. This I know, this fact I know that mind is wandering. And sampratam sthirikrutam. And with effort, with will, I can bring the mind together. This also I am aware of. Isn't it? Mind is distracted, I am aware of, and mind comes back and it is at halt. I'm able to concentrate. Still you are aware of. At both the cases, I am the awareness who is seeing the wandering of the mind and concentration of the mind. So I am not the mind. I am the Sakshi of the mind. Swamiji, okay, fine, this we understand. But give some practical tips when we have to be very alert while doing work, while in office, or while at home, or while cooking. Give some practical tips. This is the tips. Be aware what you are doing. Every step we have to be aware. That is meditation. So know that, okay, mind is doing some work now. From puja, it went to the kitchen room. Now it started, burning the stove, burning the stove, lighting the stove, all those, etc., etc. Every second you should be aware, and you should know that these are the transactions of the mind. I am just witnessing. Navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayanna. Gita 5th chapter. So Sampratam sthirikritam, concentration of the mind or wandering of the mind is the duty of me, but I am behind it as a witness principle. Thus what happens? Evam yaha veti. It is clearly understood. Yaha means Sakshi. Sakshi Chaitanyam. Evam, thus, yaha veti dhivrittam. All the functions or the conditions of the mind belong to mind alone, not to me. So never get perturbed in life. I am dull today. I am happy today. Sada ananda swarupaha ahameva. Hence, you are that sohamasmi iti avadharaya. May you always objectify everything and be happy. Next shloka, 22. Swapnajagarite suptim.
Swapnajagarite suptim.
Bhava bhavau dhiyam tatha.
Bhava bhavau dhiyam tatha.
Yo vetya vikriyas sakshat.
Yo vetya vikriyas sakshat.
Sohamityavadharaya.
Sohamityavadharaya.
In this shloka, you can easily understand the shloka. Shankaracharya says, earlier he said, Sakshi of the mind, witnesser of the mind. Here he is telling, I am the witnesser of all the three avasthatrayas, all the three states of experiences. Avastha means a state. Avasthatraya Sakshi. In Tattva Bodha, how did we introduce Atma? Atma Kaha. How did we introduce?
Something like Avastatraya Sakshis.
I want the definition. The author did not write something like.
Avastatraya Sakshi. Panchakosha Atitaha.
First one. ತತ್ವಬೋಧನೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಅದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಕಾರಣಾತ್ ಶರೀರಾತ್ ವ್ಯತಿರಿಕ್ತಃ ಅವಸ್ಥಾತ್ರಯ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಪಂಚಕೋಶ ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಃ ಯತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತಿ ಸನ್ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪಃ ಸ ಆತ್ಮ. ಇದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ? So we introduce there as Avastatraya Sakshi. So it is a witness of all the three states: waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. active, it is Jagrata Avastha. In Swapna, what happens? Only partial awareness is there, because mind does not utilize any of the sense organs. Mind is half resting. Mind has stopped all the registration what it used to register in the waking state. Whatever was registered in the waking state, it is playing in the dream state. The chitta, the memory started working in the dream state. So memory gets activated. It is just like this olden days, we had VCR and VCP. If you remember, VCR is waking state. Everything is getting recorded. VCP is dream state. Everything is playing. What is Jagrata Avastha? You can write your own definition. VCR is Jagrata Avastha. VCP is Swapna Avastha. And what about Sushupti? Deep state. Dreamless, deep sleep state. Neither waking mind is active or the sense organs are active, nor the partial mind is active. It is totally absent. Passive mind. There is no information of the external world like waking state, no information of internal world like dream state. It is a state of blankness. Vasanas will not work in the deep sleep state. If you sleep beyond 6 o'clock in the morning, then you have long vasana, great vasana of being dull. Tamas is the vasana in this janma. 6 ಗಂಟೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಲಗಿದ್ರೆ ತಮೋಗುಣ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಪುರುಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. So this absence of experience of both external and internal, in English otherwise called as blankness, because I am also the aware of this blankness state, not during the sleep, but you will say I slept very well, it was a disturbed sleep, undisturbed sleep. If since I am there during the sleep, I can tell when I get up. Why I cannot tell in the sleep state? Because mind is gone for rest. Mind is passive. For any communication to happen, mind should be there. So when mind gets up, you will say I slept really well. So he says Swapna Jagarita Suptim. You can understand. Swapna is dream state, Jagarita is waking state. You can reverse the order. Jagarita Swapna Suptim. Suptim is deep sleep state. Bhava bhavau dhyam tata. Bhavaha means active thought. The thoughts are very much there. Bhavaha. Abhavaha means absence of thought. Absence of thought in the sleep state. Activation of thought more in the waking state, less in dream state. So he clubs both dream and Jagrata Avastha as bhavaha. And abhavaha is sleep. Dhyam tata. Here dhi means manaha. What about silence? Silence is in the sleep. Atma will not activate even the silence or non-silence. Atma is beyond all this. Yaha veti vikriyaha sakshat sohamityavadharayaha. Consciousness does not do the activation of illuminating the silence or non-illuminating the silence. When I said Turiya, Turiya is the state of that consciousness. So it did not do any Kriya to be in the silent mode. Yesterday we saw a shloka. Shloka number 18. Shloka number 18. I don't, I the consciousness, if you remember, I don't hear, but in my presence, ears will hear. So that is the presence. That presence is the Turyam here. Avikriyaha means no action with respect to consciousness. Actions are all happening in the waking and in dream, but not in deep sleep. I am aware in the deep sleep that I am totally like a python. And after getting up, I say, I am the consciousness principle. These are all mananam. You have to do again and again because shloka are simple only. In a different context, Shankaracharya is bringing the Sakshi Bhava. 23. घटावभासको दीपः
घटावभासको दीपः
घटादन्यो यथेष्यते
घटादन्यो यथेष्यते
देहावभासको देही
देहावभासको देहि
तथाहं बोधविग्रहः.
तथाहं बोधविग्रहः.
Almost the repetition of the previous shloka. Bodha vigraha aham. Bodha is equal to chit swarupaha, jnana swarupaha. I am of the nature of awareness principle. Chit bodha means jnanam. Bodha can also be translated as sakshi. As sakshi, I am ever free. I, the consciousness, which is otherwise called as Sakshi, is ever free. You need not do any parihara for Sakshi. Isn't it? You need not do any puja, parihara for being as a Sakshi. All the pujas, vratas, japas, homas, etc., whatever you bring, you want to bring under religious bracket, is only for ahankara. As ahankara, I can never be free. Do whatever you feel like doing. You might do tirtha yatra, you might sit from morning till evening, you might do pranayama, you might do meditation to control the mind. Anything, you might do japa, whatever, all are based on ahankara. Very important factor. As ahankara, I can never ever be free. As Sakshi, I am ever free. As ahankara, I am ever bound. As Sakshi, I am never bound. As ahankara, I can never get liberated. I am progressing. As ahankara, I can never get liberated. As Sakshi, liberation is not possible. Are you getting the difference? As ahankara, I can never get liberated. As Sakshi, in otherwise, I am ever liberated. And Swamiji, what are we all doing? So much time is spent in all this puja, japa, etc., etc. Means what? We are nourishing the ahankara in the name of puja. In the name of all spiritual practices, we are nourishing spiritual ego. We are suppressing the material ego and we are replacing the spiritual ego or religious ego. Think. Think. We never would have thought all this. Then we thought we want to gain liberation. Then what liberation is? Liberation is very simple. Knowing this fact that ahankara can never get liberation, as Sakshi I am ever liberated. This knowledge is liberation. This knowledge is liberation, which will give clarity to all of us. Apart from this, there is no liberation possible. And you have to choose in these two. I is a mixture of body, mind, sense complex, and also the Sakshi. You have to choose I as Sakshi to say that I am liberated. You need not verbalize it. Know it for yourself. So we cannot give an answer if somebody asks me saying that, Swamiji, are you liberated? What should I answer? After studying Vedanta, do you think that if anything I answer, it will be a flaw only? Isn't it? But I will say, I will ask a counter question, because since Vedanta always works in counter questioning, I will say, are you liberated? I will ask. Or do you have the capacity to ask me that I am liberated? Something I'll talk like this. This kind of questions will never work. If somebody expects me to be liberated, then he is thinking that from the Ahankara standpoint of view. Ahankara can never be liberated. Then what about such all the Mahatmas' life history we are reading? They gave liberation to that person, this person, and one Mahatma gave liberation to an animal. What is all this then? It is Arthavada. Arthavada means auxiliary statements in the Veda. It should not be taken as a main. It is a byproduct. Byproduct means some pages are left over in the book. To fill up, it is all there. That's all. It is an inscription, but that is not true. Ramana Maharshi gave liberation to the cow called Lakshmi. Gajendra Moksha. If crocodile can catch hold of elephant leg, and Vishnu gave moksha to elephant, and Mahapariva Kanchi Paramacharya gave many such liberations to many people. If that is possible, let us all close the book and go to all such mutts or ashrams or Mahatmas and beg for liberation. Think. The liberation, what they mean is, for the cow called Lakshmi, Bhagavan gave liberation from that janma of cow. That Lakshmi would have been born as a human in the next birth. That Gajendra Moksha, Gajendra would have been born as a human. Another Amma, I was reading Mahapariva's experiences. She used to sell some flowers, I think, in one of the temple outside the corridor. She gave, Mahapariva gave moksha, it seems. It might be true, I am not denying. That moksha means what? She need not suffer like that. Next janma would be a better janma. She would be born as a yoga brashta, and she will, in a samskara family, she will learn and then study shastra, then get moksha. Simple. This is the only way. There is no other way. All such bhakti stories are inspire us. In the name of bhakti, we cannot hand over our moksha to Bhagavan or to Mahatmas or to Gurus. Think. Swamiji, whatever you told until now, we accept. This portion we can't accept. Whatever you said until now, from the day one until now, we accept. But this one, bhakti cannot give. No, we can't accept. I beg to differ. I beg to differ, and they put that first something, agree to disagree. Some statements they will say. Whatever you say, that means what? You don't have buddhi if you can't accept or appreciate this knowledge. You think whoever looks for liberation, whoever looks for moksha, means what? They are thinking they are ahankara and they want to get liberated from ahankara. How is it possible? As long as I am identifying with the ahankara, liberation is not at all possible. Try however much. You might try for the kalpa, yuga. So Shankaracharya says, Ghatava bhasako deepaha ghatad anyaha. The light which illumines the pot is asangaha, untouched. Gataha avabhasakaha deepaha. The light, deepaha light, which illumines the pot is asangaha. Ghatad anyaha, different from the pot. Unconnected it is. Imagine, sorry, the light is intimate to the pot, but yet different. The other day I gave the example that in this room, every object is there. On my body, light is also there, but light is never affected with whatever is happening in this room. There are people sitting here, I am talking, and so many objects in the room, but yet the light is not affected. Similarly, I, the consciousness, whatever transactions happens in my body, mind, sense complex, I am least affected. Least, not only the past, not only future, even the present, I am least affected. Mundenu mattenu indiga mateke ಸಂದರ್ಭಬರಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗಳ ಚಿಂತೆ ಹೊಂದಿಸುವನಾರು ನಿನ್ನಾಳಲ್ಲ ಬೇರಿಹನು ಇಂದಿಗಿಂದ ಬದುಕು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. ದಿವಸದಿಂ ದಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಿಷದಿಂ ನಿಮಿಷಕ್ಕೆ ಭವಿಷ್ಯವ ಚಿಂತಿಸದೆ ಬದುಕ ನೂಕತಿರು ವಿವರಗಳ ಜೋಡಿಸುವ ಯಜಮಾನ ಬೇರಿಹನು ಸೆವೆಸುನೀಂ ಜನುವವನು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. ಏನಾದೊಡೆಯಂ ಮಪ್ಪುದು ಸಿದ್ಧನಿರಕೆ ಭಾನು ತನುವಾದಾನು ಸೋಮ ಸುಟ್ಟಾನು ಕ್ಷೂಣಿಯೇ ಕರೆಯಿತು ಜಗಶೂನ್ಯವಾದೀತು ಮೌನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿದ್ಧನಿರು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. Think to what extent he is telling, let the sun become moon, moon become sun. But how do we react when one day food is not given? Let the entire ocean dry itself. Shuniye karagitu jaga shunyavaditu. Entire world becomes a void. What should be our maunadele siddhaniru mankutimma. Agata huchidiyat. That is DVG. All Mahatmas are internally like that. How angry was Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, and yet the next moment he was like a baby. Next moment he used to scold left, right and center people who have not completed the task what he had assigned to these brahmacharis. But that next moment he used to appreciate that brahmacharis if they have done the work well. So internally we should all be very strong, never get perturbed. Very important. So though the light is intimately associated with the ghata or the body, as consciousness I am never affected. Similarly with Sakshi Chaitanya, second line you see, Dehi aham. Dehi means I, the consciousness. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Aham kshetrajnah. I am the indweller of it. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha Vedaischa sarvairahmeva vedyah Vedantakrit Veda Videha cha. 15th chapter Gita. At least 15th chapter you should know Gita. Because you have to chant and then only eat. Mattaha smritihi jnanam apohanam cha. I am the one who will give you the memory, and I am the one who will take the memory. I remaining the same. I, the consciousness, is there in your memory. And when the memory goes also, I am there. I am the beginning, middle, and end of the Vedas. Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedyah. And I am the crux of think. Every statement of our Prasthanatraya talks only about this consciousness. Interpretation problem. None of the Acharyas except Adi Shankaracharya has properly interpreted. Aneka Vivrita Pada Padartha Vakyartha we noted. No read to Shankaracharya. Anyways, so Dehi Aham Deha Avabhasakha. The body is illumined, but I am the Sakshi. This Sakshi is intimately there with the body, hence I confuse and forget my real nature. And Bodhaha Vigraha Asmi. I am the nature of this Chit Swarupaha, Bodhaha Jnana Swarupaha. Hence, iti avadharaya. May you think again and again on such lines. Next shloka 24. Putravitradayo bhava.
पुत्रवित्तादयो भावा
Yasya sheshataya priyah.
यस्य शेषतया प्रियाः
Drashta sarvah priyatamaha.
द्रष्टा सर्वप्रियतमः
Sohamityavadharaya.
सोऽहमित्यवधारय.
Very important shloka and a disturbing shloka too. Very important, and whichever shloka is important will disturb us with respect to Vedanta. Until now, Shankaracharya spoke Swarupaha, Chit Swarupaha, and Ananda Swarupaha also in one or two places, but more was of Sat and Chit. But in this shloka, he speaks about Ananda Swarupaha, Atma, as Sakshi of the mind, Sakshi of the Avasthatraya. Everything was spoken. And in the previous shloka, as Bodha Vigraha, as awareness principle. But Atma is also Ananda Swarupaha, pure Ananda, Akhandananda. And he says, who says? Adi Shankaracharya says, Atma is dearest to all. Atma is dearest thing. All, but Atma is the dearest thing. And whenever I say Atma, never confuse Atma as a light. That is only in the movies. Because in movies, they have to complete 1.5 to 2 hours. Why they show light, at the movie? Because the theater is dark. Only when they show the light, you can go out, or else suddenly if you are in a dark room, suddenly if you are outside with Tamil Nadu sun, when you come inside from the bright sunlight, everything will look dark. So in the movies, what they do, everything is dark. At those times, you did not have mobile torch. Because all those devotional movies, that from the prakara of the temple, slowly one pillar after the other, the light goes. The bhakta's light, Atma goes, and that pujari will be there, and he will come like this, and then it directly goes and enters the path of Nataraja Swami. And they say it Aikya of the Lord. And a big star will come so that everything will be bright. You can go outside of the moon. That was the reason. But we confuse saying that, okay, we are the light. and we merged into the Lord. Actually, this kind of thing is worse than any cartoon. Cartoon is far, far better. Because in the name of bhakti, we lose our intellect. We don't properly think. So never think Atma is light. If you think Atma is light, you are tube light. Anyways, Atma is the dearest of all. Think Atma is dear. Atma as consciousness is dearest of all. Now I'll ask you, for everyone, who is dearest? For all of us, who is the dearest? Superlative degree. Not dear, dearer, dearest. One's own self is dearest to all of us. My own self is dearest to all of us. I am dearest to my own self. You ask anyone. If you ask somebody who is dear to you, if he or she says, so and so is dearer, or if he or she says that Swamiji, you are so dear to me, and I can clearly know, or you can also know, it is a sheer bluff. Nothing more than that. Sheer bluff. Can somebody be dearer to more than what I feel? So dearest I am. The Shastras divide the Ananda into three. It is Sadhya Ananda, Sadhana Ananda, Siddha Ananda. Sadhya Ananda, Sadhanananda, nice name, Siddhananda. Sadhyananda, Sadhanananda, Siddhananda. Many names are coming. Okay. Sadhya means the goal, the end. Sadhana means to attain the goal. Siddha means I, the beneficiary, who will enjoy attaining the goal. In all these three, which one do we love the most? Whether Sadhyananda or Sadhanananda or Siddhananda. Think. All the three we equally love. Why, you know? Since the beneficiary I is at the last, to attain the goal and the means, we have to love all the three. For example, you love coffee. I also, anyways, you love coffee. And that too, it has to be exactly the chicory percentage, everything should match. Okay. And for enjoying the coffee, that is the I, that the end, that this Siddham and Sadhyam. What is the accessories required? Coffee has to be kept in a cup, in a tumbler. To drink coffee, you should love the cup. So means you have to love. The preparation you have to love. Somebody has to make the coffee for you. Because you cannot make. You have taken a vow that you will not go near the kitchen. And before taking the vow also, I never went to kitchen. Think. So to attain the end, you have to invariably like all the processes. You have to love the cup and also the means to attaining. And after drinking the coffee, how long can you hold the cup? Hey, I have attained the coffee. Let me hold this coffee cup. It will stink. The coffee, when it was hot, smelled superb. The moment it is over, it will stink. You cannot smell the cup. Where did that kind of bhava prema go after drinking? You have to throw the cup. Think. So what happened? Dear, dearer, dearest, priya, priyatara, priyatama, the gradation of ananda. Priyatamaha is the end, that I, the benefit who drank the coffee. Suppose, let's say, you have some health issues and doctor has advised you not to drink coffee, because doctor job is only to say not to do anything. Whatever we are doing, they will put a full stop there. That is the duty of doctor. Don't do this. Don't have any doctor has told you, may you continue whatever you are doing. No, they say don't do. If you are eating more ghee, cholesterol, triglyceride, carbohydrate is more. Which doctor will say whatever you are eating, you eat, no problem. It is your prarabdha. No doctor will say. Suppose, let's say, you have got a health issue, the doctor says, may you not eat drink coffee. Now, will you give up drinking coffee or will you still drink coffee? You will invariably give up drinking coffee because you love the most. You don't want to get hurt yourself. You don't want to fall in the trap of disease. You will give up coffee which you like the most. Swami Chinmayananda used to have coffee at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock. 3:30 he used to get up. 4 o'clock get ready. 4 to 5 meditation. 5 o'clock 1 cup of coffee. And then start writing letters to the brahmacharis. All my gurus, Swami Paramarthananda also same thing. Everybody likes coffee. And in fact, it is not, it is, that is one vasana. Anyways, I will not go into that. There are many experiences with all my gurus with respect to coffee. Many Vedanta concepts come when they drink coffee and then teach me. Some other day we will keep. So I have to give up because my ananda is very important. So you tell me, in the means, in the end, everything boils down to me, my happiness. What are we all doing? Replace this coffee and cup with everything in the world outside. Anything in the world falls under only this. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, very disturbing statement, but I will tell. Navarayah patyuh kamayah padih priyo bhavati atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Putra, Vitta, everything. And who said that? Yajnavalkya. And he had 2 dharmapatnis. And in front of dharmapatni, he is telling, hey dharmapatni, hey Maitreyi, I am not loving you for the sake of you are my wife. I am loving you because you are my source of joy. Sun is not loved for the sun's sake, but I get ananda from the sun. That is why I love the sun. My profession is not loved for the profession's sake, because I can earn money. That is why it is a source of ananda. Everything in the world, husband, wife, children, father, mother, everything, guru, even Bhagavan. Lord is also not exempted from this. I can get some mental peace because my Ishta Devata is close to me. I can derive source or joy from it. I want. Nobody can unconditionally love anyone in the world. If somebody says it is a fake love, it can never happen. Wife loves the husband because of what? Because whatever is granted by husband, because of that, it is a transaction. It is a sheer transaction. Remember Bhaja Govindam. यावत् वित्तोर्पार्जनसक्तः तावन् निज परिवारो रक्तः. Very disturbing statement. Whatever is you are asking, everything has been provided. That is why on compassion grounds we are loving. I am using a word called compassion grounds we are loving. No exaggeration. We fear. We don't want to take major steps. We fear. Think bitter truths. Swamiji, will you please continue? Enough of this shloka. We'll go to next shloka. So, see shloka. I can go on, but we'll stop here because everybody's face has changed. Bhavaha. Bhavaha means what? All the things and beings in the creation are only in the form of means and goals. Bhavaha andre akkana idu ankobedi. Bhava illi bhava andre bere. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾವಾಹ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಾದಯ ಪುತ್ರಾದಯ ಪುತ್ರವಿತ್ತಾದಯ ಪುತ್ರಃ ಸನ್ ವಿತ್ತಃ ಮನಿ ಆದಯ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. So all these transactions, the putra, the money, etc., are in the form of means and goals. Bhavaha. Swamiji Shankaracharya has spoken only of putra and money. Then are you telling everything in the world? Adayaha is there, infinite. Everything you can bring. Yasya sheshataya priyaha. Sheshataha means conditional ananda. Yasya conditional ananda. Or everything is connected to form of conditional ananda, and everything is loved as a conditional ananda, never as unconditional ananda. For my own benefit, everything has been learned. Conditional ananda. Yasya sheshataya priya drashta sarva priyatamaha. Drashta, I the beneficiary, the siddham is sarva priyatamaha, superlative degree. I am loved the most. We have seen this. I have been talking on this every time since Corona came. In a house, whenever Corona was attacked, you know how careful you were supposed to be. You ignored your own kith and kin because you wanted to survive first. Don't come to my room. The Corona will spread. Food was thrown inside the room. Food was literally thrown. I have seen families. They have called me and cried, Swamiji, these are the parents are doing like this. 14 years is what government had given quarantine. 14 days. Correct. That Amma told, it was like 14 years. So much torture. Don't touch that, don't touch this. Change the clothes, you only wash your clothes. Don't come out, don't breathe. How to survive? That means what? I should not get affected by this. Think how we change in few seconds. And yet say everything is fine, everybody is loved unconditionally. No. Nobody loves anybody unconditionally. There is always a checkmate. We don't know that. Always a checkmate is there. Anybody is loved only for one condition, that I have to get fulfilled. Drashta sarva priyatamaha. Okay, we will stop here and continue tomorrow. Asatoma satkamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति।